Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my 2025 World Junior prediction video. It's going to be a really good tournament this year. A lot of talent. And yeah, if you didn't watch my latest video, go click on it. It'll be in the description right now. Just recapping last night's game between Canada and Switzerland. But yeah, we'll get right into this here with Group A. In the 5 spot, I do have Germany. I think you kind of have to compare them to Latvia because it will most likely come down to that game between both teams there. Just a couple notable guys here. Norwin Pinocha plays in the USHL, 6'2", drafted by Buffalo in the 7th round. He has just 3 points in 15 games, but he is a solid defenseman for them, and he's going to be relied upon heavily. And then draft eligible David Lewandowski, 07, 6'2", plays in the WHL for Saskatoon, has 15 points in 20 games. And you also have to look at goaltending here for Germany, and it's not... Latvia has them beat there, simply put. And then in that 4th spot, I do have Latvia. Goaltending-wise, Leonards Feldbergs plays in the queue. Most likely he's going to be on the team and their starting goalie. Has an .899 save percentage in 21 games played, with an 11-4-2 record in the queue with Sherbrooke. He's going to have to be relied upon a lot if this team wants to be successful. A couple guys on their D play in the queue. Bulon Sajunskis. If I said that properly, I'm going to butcher a lot of these names, guys. I'm sorry. Then Daryl Ujanskis plays junior hockey in Sweden. Playing very well, has 21 points in 27 games. Last year, he had 29 in 45, so he's a guy who can score for them. 7th round of the Ducks. Then moving on, looking at their forwards here. Eric Matejko, the Washington Capitals pick, 3rd round. 90th overall, is playing in the queue for the St. John Sea Dogs. He is the captain. He has 19 points in 23 games. So far last year in the World Juniors, just 1 goal in 5 games. He is also a big boy at 6'6", more of a power forward. And they have a couple 07s on this forward group, and even a couple 08s, a few 08s if they do end up making the team. One, Carlos Flungens, plays in Flint in the Ontario Hockey League. So far, he has just 3 points in 23 games. As well as you look at a guy like Daniel Serkins, 07 as well. Keep an eye out for him. He's projected of 30 points in 42 games in the Swiss Elite League. And yeah, I mean, for Latvia, that's it. They're going to have to rely on their goalie to keep them in games. Play good defensive hockey, hopefully, and maybe not score, get their first goal in the last round robin game, and they'll be good. But they can be in some games here. I got them in 4th. I can't see them being in 3rd. They're just in a tough division, so it's a tough spot for them, but we'll see. Now on to Team Finland, who I'm putting in at 3rd here. Goaltending-wise, they have 3 great options, all play in the Liga. One that kind of stands out to me, even though he's not a returning guy. Noah Valley is, the returnee. Most likely. Petteri Rimpainen has a .916 save percentage in the Liga and has a great record. That's pro hockey, being an 18-year-old, right? So he's playing great there. Defensively, I think this defense stacks up with, the best teams in this tournament. Kalle Kangas, Pittsburgh draft pick. Aaron Kiviharju, if I said that right. Emil Piananemi is lighting up the OHL right now. Has 34 points in 32 games, I believe. 3rd round pick from Pittsburgh. Sebastian Sioni, draft pick of Minnesota. And then 3rd round pick of Utah, VT Vasanen, playing in Medicine Hat. He is a very solid defender, and this team looks good. This defense looks good. This team in general does look good as well here. Forwards, leading off here, Kasper Holttunen, big body, great shot. spent time in the AHL earlier this year. He's now down back with the London Knights. Hasn't put up maybe a whole lot of points, but he looks very physical, and a guy with that size and plays with that physicality, he could be used very well here for Finland. And then I think the best two-way forward in this tournament, Konsta Helenius, is having a great season in Rochester right now. He's going to be looked upon to carry this team on his back. Emil Hemming, another guy who's playing well, is 20 points in 30 games for the Barrie Colts in the OHL. Jesse Kiskinen, Detroit draft pick, playing in the Liga, as well as Rasmus Kumpalainen, who had a good season with the Oshawa Generals last year and is a big body. Also had a solid tournament last year. Jesse Nurmi with the London Knights. He hasn't put a whole lot in the net, but he can be a good third-line player on this team. And Tomas Euronen as well, 6th round from Vegas, playing in the OHL this year with Kingston, last year with 67s, but he has 39 points in 31 games so far. And overall, this Finnish team, they could be I wouldn't be surprised if they got, first maybe, or even fourth, right? They could lose. It's kind of it depends really. We're kind of out of that golden era of having the Laines, the Ahos, right? Those guys, but we'll see. They're still going to be a good team, and they're going to be competitive. Now, this one was sort of a tough one, who I'm putting in the second spot, who I have in the first spot. It's between U.S. and Canada, obviously, and man, I really want to say, my gut's telling me that New Year's Eve game, both teams are going into it. It's basically for first place, right? And I want to say, Augustine just steals one for the United States, but I don't know. Technically, I should say Canada. Canada on paper is the better team, I think. Here, USA, we're going to put them in the second spot. You look at their goaltending. They have the best goaltender in the tournament, Trey Augustine. He's dominated every level he's ever played at. And they even have Slakinski as a backup, I'd imagine. And, you can run, 1-2 until you get to that Canada game in the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. But goaltending, they have the best goaltending in the tournament. And defensively, Zeev Boyum, he's going to be leading this team for sure. He's going to have to, if this team wants to be successful. Looking just at his stats this year in Denver, he's 20 points in 18 games, 12th overall pick by the Minnesota Wild, and the Wild got a pretty solid D-core coming up here. The roster did come out for USA yesterday, and a couple snubs here, and that's kind of solidified my decision on putting them second here. No Blake Fiddler or EJ Emery, and for Emery, plays North Dakota, has only had 1 assist this year, but his game is playing solid defensive hockey. He had 6 assists in last year's U18 World Junior Championship. And Fiddler's in 07, I thought they would have brought on 6'4", 209 pounds. This whole D-core, they got some big kids on it. Adam Kleber is at the Minnesota Duluth, sorry. I don't know why I said that. Second round pick of the Sabres, had 26 points in 56 games in the USHL last year. And then in D1, he has 1 assist in 15. But USA, defensively, missing a lot of guys. Probably their weakest point. And offensively, still very skilled. Got Ryan Leonard coming back so far this year. He is lighting it up, 19 points, 16 games played. Last year he had 6 points in 7 games, so I imagine he does even better. And another returnee, maybe the best forward on this team, Gabe Perreault, New York draft pick. Picked him 23rd overall. Last year at BU he had 60 points in 36. This year he's 23 and 16. And, you look at this team, you got a lot of good guys who I think can play in that depth role. Joey Willis, Kerry Torrance. AJ Spalacy got snubbed. I thought he was for sure on this team, but hey, I guess not. Cole Iserman, Trevor Connolly, And also, potential number 1 overall pick here, James Haggins, 20 points, 16 games at Boston College here. But forward-wise, I think they're obviously worse. You look at last year's team. We look back on it already. I think that was one of the best U.S. World Junior teams of all time. Hot take there, but no. Great team U.S. had last year. They're going to be solid this year. They're still contending for a gold medal. Augustine's just going to have to step up his game and play the way he's been playing, and no doubt he will be. But I have them in second here. And in first, I do have Canada. And finally, in Group A, in first place, I do have Team Canada. This team is much better than they were last year. Goaltending-wise, Bjarnason, George, Ivan Kovic, currently at battle. Carter George played very well last night. Bjarnason with that tough one there, passing right on his tape, but no. Goaltending is not I don't think will be a problem. It might be their weakest aspect, but it won't be a problem in this tournament. It'll be solid, but will it be up to that Sweden USA level? I don't know. Defensively, much better as well, and I like the line pairings they had last night. I like Gibson and Molendyk. Dickinson out of the lineup last night. He could be slotted in. Schaefer as well. Yeah, he had a rough first period, as I said in my video. You guys are gonna go watch it right now, right? Right. But no, though, Schaefer ended up playing very well. Got an assist on that power play goal from Cowan. But this defenseman, they got a big decor here. And they're going to be fun to watch. They're quick, fast, skilled. And you know the forward group is very skilled, and Gavin McKenna is starting out as the 13th forward. I think he played well last night as well, but hey, we'll see. He is lighting up the WHL, 60 points in 30 games. I like Cole Bedouin. He's a guy who's going to have to play chippy, gritty, can throw the body around, and he can do that. We saw in last year's OHL playoff. Berkeley Catton, great two-way centerman. They're very deep with their centerman here. Cowan is going to be coming in for redemption here. Luchenko, a great two-way player as well. Martone, draft eligible this season. Bradley Nadeau coming down from the AHL to play. Rakoff, big goal scorer, same with Callum Ritchie, and then Braden Yager named as the C. But this team is just, there's no flaws in this team. They're loaded. They're going to be fun to watch for sure here. And yeah, that's Group A. Now for Group B, I'm just going to quickly rattle off these teams and where I have them, starting off with Kazakhstan, number 5. Their only drafted player is Vladimir Nikitin, 6'5", 7th round pick by Ottawa, has a .884 save percentage in the MHL right now. But good to see Kazakhstan in the tournament, and I'm obviously rooting for them to be successful. Then in the 4th spot, I do have Switzerland, and the short of it is here, they're going to have to rely on Christian Kirsch to play very well. In this Canada game, they just played. I think he played well. That one where that rebound, I think he might want that one back, but he still played very well in that one. Had a couple of huge saves. Defensively, they need to be better. Leon Mugli, he's a guy they're going to look towards. Capitals draft pick. And then forward-wise, they need to find some scoring here. And I don't necessarily know if they have the type of players to carry a team, put them on their shoulders, right? They have one drafted guy, Rico Gredig, Rangers 6th round, playing HC Davos, has 4 points in 27 games, right? So, they might struggle scoring goals in this tournament, but hopefully Christian Kirsch can keep the games low scoring. And with Slovakia, this is not the team it once was. Guys like Maxim Sturbach, who played on this team last year, had 3 points in 5 games, is returning, 2nd round pick by the Buffalo Sabres. He's going to be relied upon on that back end to soak 30 minutes a game, maybe even more, right? Because he is the only drafted player. A couple guys that are playing North America, Valent and Jacob Chromiak, solid guys to have back there. And yeah, like I said before, this team is not how it once was. Another guy on the defense here, Luka Radovojevic. Did I say that right? I hope so. Is playing the USHL, has 10 points in 19 games. Projected to maybe even be in the first round this year. But comparing Slovakia to Czechia, I think Czechia has the edge on them. Obviously, Dvorsky's coming back. He's playing in the AHL this year. And Pekarisic, who is coming back. Again, played on the team last year at 3 points in 5 games. This year, he has 35 and 29 with the Moncton Wildcats in the queue. He was drafted in the 3rd round by St. Louis, but I don't think this team is deep enough to get in that top 2 in this division or this group. Now, talking about Czechia here, I think this year they have a very good team. I think they can compete even for a gold medal. Surprisingly as that may sound, you look at their goaltending. Michael Hrabal playing very well in D1. He's 6'6", returning from last year. I think last year's tournament he didn't play as well as he would have liked, and as well as Czechia would have liked him to play. But they also have a pretty solid backup, Jacob Malota, drafted in the 4th round by Nashville. He's playing solid in the queue. We look at their D as well. They have 4 NHL draft picks. Dvorak, Jacob Fibiger, who's playing in the OHL, and Jacob Dvorak as well, who's playing in the AHL, 6'4", and he's going to be solid back there on D. 3 points for the Ontario Reign, drafted by the Kings. And is this defense as good as Sweden, Canada, USA? Probably not, but they can be right there if they want to be. And forward-wise, they do have 8 draft picks. I would say most notably Edward Chalet, who's returning from last year's tournament. He had a good tournament last year. I don't know if he can carry the load with points-wise, but I have a feeling he will. He's playing well in the AHL with Coachella Valley. Jacob Stansel in the WHL right now, 6'3", very good two-way forward as well. He has 32 points in 26 games with them. And yeah, it's a solid group. Adam Zidlicki as well. I believe he has a point per game with Brampton. Adam Jetko. WHL, he's playing well, so they can get some scoring, and they'll be solid. Last few years, they've been a very kind of pesky team. They've been staying in games, being a hard team to play against, and this year I don't see a change in that. Not a huge surprise. I have Team Sweden in that number 1 spot. And goaltending-wise, they have 3 good options. All 3 guys are drafted. If I was to pick, I would go with Marcus Giedloff. 917 save percentage with Leksands in the Swedish Hockey League, which is very impressive. I think he might take it and run with it. Obviously, Melker Thelin played against Canada. That bonk goal he'd want back, but we'll see. The net is open. All 3 guys could take it. We'll see. Defensively, and I'd say Sweden has probably the second best defense in this tournament, probably beating USA. A lot of guys in the Swedish Hockey League, and they have 6 draft picks. Tom Willander, who's playing well at Boston College right now. And Axel Sandin Pellikka, obviously. Don't need to say a whole lot about him. He's gonna dominate this tournament, probably the best defenseman. Forward-wise, they do have 9 draft picks. Otto Stenberg, Felix Unger-Sorum, Anton Wahlberg. They have a lot of big names here. And this is going to be a very good Sweden team this year at the 2025 World Juniors. Canada, Switzerland. For Switzerland, I think Kirsch could have a very good game here. I'm going to go 4-0 Canada. They're going to overpower, and I think from last year is very disappointed. They will come ready to go when it comes to this quarterfinal game. And Sweden, Latvia here, I can't see Sweden losing with this group. They will win. I think it'll be a pretty big one. Pretty big win here for Sweden. USA, Slovakia. Surprisingly, I think this one will be a good game. Trey Augustine will not let them lose, though. I'm going to say it's going to be close. If you told me there's going to be a one-goal game in this quarterfinal and it's between USA and Slovakia, I wouldn't even be that surprised. I think Slovakia has played close games recently with USA in this tournament. And I think there could be one here, but USA they'll win. Czechia and Finland for our last quarterfinal here, and I'm going to go with Team Czechia here. I like their group. I like Rabel in net. Ultimately, you need a good goalie. And I think last year in the quarterfinal he played well. Here he'll play well again. I went through the roster, and I don't know. It's going to be a good game. It could honestly go either way, but when it comes down to it, Czechia, they're built to play in these games, and they're going to outgrind Finland, I feel, and yeah. I just feel like this is one of those games where it's going to be low scoring. And when it comes down to it, goaltending-wise, Czechia is going to win. I think forward and defense-wise, Finland probably has the better roster. But in terms of, you got one game, you got to win it. And just how the matchups work out, I think I got Czechia here. And for the first semifinal here, we're going to go Sweden-USA. And, man, this is going to be a very good game. Sometimes you get those gut feelings when you look at these games and it's going to be that close. And defensively, Sweden is better. And forward-wise, maybe even two. But goaltending, the USA does have Trey Augustine in it. He's going to play very well, but I got Sweden here. I got Sweden defeating the USA and heading on to the gold medal game against, you can go Canada here as well, and not a game Canada wants to play, a bit of a trap game, playing against Czechia. They're going to be a hard team to play against, as I said, and yeah, I got Canada-Sweden final. Who do I have in the bronze medal game between USA and Czechia? Well, I am going to go USA. I kind of want to say Czechia, but I think USA is just going to come out and win that bronze. And then to the final, we could see a great goaltending performance from both guys. Defensively, both teams are very solid. Same with offensively. It's going to be a close game. Could go either way. But Canada is just too deep to lose this tournament. I look at this team from top to bottom and, starting out in training camp when you have to cut guys like Prek and Yakimchuk and Seneca, you got a deep team. People get angry, why'd you cut them, right? But who are you going to take out? Maybe you can make an argument for that guy, but still, this is a great team. And I think they're going to win the 2025 World Juniors. I'll get into kind of individual games. So for Boxing Day, I'll kind of preview the games a little bit, give you my predictions, and there'll be a video every single day from Boxing Day until the end. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next video.